Carol.
I'm here for Will.
I'm Lauren Friedenberger, and we are the analytics. We're going to be going over price gouging, and what that is when a seller increases the price of something to an almost unethical price level, and is mostly considered unfair. Our argument to this with the pharmaceutical companies is that it's unethical and it goes against the value co-creation theory that we learned.
The example of price gouging is diaphragm. Martin actually bought the rights to this drug. It's a 62-year-old drug, and it is the drug is used to treat a parasite infection called toxoplasmosis. It's kind of a rare parasite that we get from either gardening or actually active. So it's not used very often, but Martin, who's the owner of Enron Pharmaceuticals, bought the rights to this drug, and it used to be $13.50 per pill, and now it's $750 per pill. He was able to do this by talking to Impax, that was the previous owner of the diaphragm drug, by starting the wholesale market. And so when he bought it, there would be no pills left floating around for other competitors to buy. And also another example is RAM medication has actually been increased since 2008, and generic medication has been decreased. So RAM medication was increased to $227.39, while generic medication and prescription drugs has decreased.
Pharmaceutical drug companies in the gray market are being backed by the Senate Commerce Commission for upfront regulations. Senator J. Rockefeller from Virginia said that drug distributors are profiteers who exploit the misery of sick patients to make a quick buck. Traditionally, I think that being a profiteer and making that money is something to be proud of, and it is the market. The issue here, though, is but at what cost? Does it have to be the cost of other people's lives? Politician Donald Trump said, referring to Martin, the night he raised the age goal to $750, he looks like a spoiled brat to me. I thought it was disgusting what he did. Both political parties sat against the situation as it is immoral and unethical.
Price gouging is good for place in the promise of bad consumers. Since it is a free market, pharmaceutical companies gouging prices in order to make more of a profit. It's a smart business move. Like you said, didn't care. In 2010, their profits were $670,000, and in 2014, they were $9.9 million, and they're only going to rise against two other companies.
So in conclusion, price gouging affects individuals every day. It's kind of a thing that people aren't really understanding. It's kind of a problem. Customer Bill of Rights has been put in place to protect rights of consumers, and further regulations provide further protection of the interests of consumers' health. But without this, even if it keeps going, regulation price gouging will still continue to trend. It's still going to be a problem, but we just need people to understand that this is a thing that's happening, and it kind of sucks because it's saying, like, we don't really care you have to pay this much because you're not like a healthy living person, you have to pay $750. So it's just unfair, kind of, that you have to pay that much just to live a healthy life. But
We're going to show you why.
greatest man.
See me lean, I'm 10, so it ain't easy to be seen. Number 7. Do you have your paper?
I have it.
Is everybody's name on it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. What's your group name?
I'm with this is Team Members. Pretty much we broke down some companies that exemplify ethical and unethical marketing. Ethical marketing is about making marketing decisions that are morally right. They're also about balancing ethics and remaining competitive. It can be hard, that's why some companies turn to unethical measures in order to drive their sales when they're struggling. We broke down 5 different companies, looked at their companies, a couple of them were unethical, a couple of them were ethical, so we're going to break those down.
Urban Outfitters is once again in the spotlight for using unethical practices in their marketing schemes. They posted a shirt for sale on their website that read, "Eat less." During this time in society when eating disorders is such a raw subject among women and even men, Urban Outfitters really became an example of what not to do. Urban Outfitters also posted a vintage sweatshirt. It's a Kent State sweatshirt on their website. The description reads, "Washed, soft, and perfectly broken in. We only have one, so get it or regret it." The sweatshirt alludes to the 4 students that were killed at Kent State by the National Guard during a Vietnam War protest. Urban Outfitters did apologize and said that it was never in their intention to allude to the tragic situation. Kent State released a statement blasting the company for using the tragedy for publicity and profit. Kent State also invited Urban Outfitters to tour their memorial of the 1970 shooting to gain perspective on what happened so many years ago. Even though Urban Outfitters did not admit to the marketing catastrophe, it was. Everyone in this room can decide for themselves how Urban Outfitters really acted.
Lance Holt, I'm going to talk to you about some unethical practices of Abercrombie and Fitch. They've been involved in numerous lawsuits in the past couple of years, both with their employees and their customers. The CEO of the company in an interview said that he didn't want fat people or not so cool kids wearing his clothes. If you don't believe them, you can go look in stores and they don't offer extra large or double extra large sizes in women's clothes. You can find them in the men's clothes, but that's just to appeal to the more beefy football players. Their women's jeans only go up to a size 10, and their main competitor, American Eagle, offers up to a size 18 in their standard line. He's also said that his clothing was built around sex appeal, and that's why they only hire attractive people in their stores so they can attract the other cool, good-looking people, because they don't market to anyone other than that. He's also said that they're looking, when they're looking for future customers, they go after the All-American teams with a lot of friends, because most people don't belong in their clothes. Another competitor to Abercrombie Fitch is H&M, and they recently came out with a plus-size line, which 67% of the apparel purchasing population is that. So that was a good marketing decision by them.
Another vendor is Zara. They're a fashion forward company. They sell in-store and online. And this is what they released online. It's a children's pajama shirt, and they called it Western inspired. But it obviously looks like a Jewish star, and it references the Holocaust and concentration camps. So people were pretty pissed off about that. This isn't the first time that they've done something like that. They also released a bag with swastikas on it, a shirt that said white is the new black. So they haven't code, looking at the company and saying, maybe they're a little bit racist, so they need to rethink their processes and maybe have somebody screening these better or being like, how can this offend people? Because I don't think they're doing a very good job of that right now. In contrast to the companies that we've looked at so far, we were able to find a couple that showed a good ethical approach to their marketing. One of them was called Caraloha. If any of you have ever been on a cruise down to the Caribbean and stopped in any of their ports, you've probably seen one or two of their shops. All of their clothing and apparel and stuff is made out of bamboo. And for good marketing purposes, it is better for the environment to harvest and to make into material for clothing than actual cotton. So it is good for them, and then they can say, you know, it is farmed fresh from here, and it is a lot more ethical in a purchase for people coming in out of the country than, say, you know, just regular cotton imported from such and such, and actually use their own materials.
Another company that's a good example of an ethical approach would be Tom's. It was established in 2006 by Blake Classic. Their buy one get one model has connected with multiple consumers and helping people in need. By purchasing one of their items, they send out another item to four. And they have given over 10 million pairs of shoes. At the same time, provide prescription glasses, underwriting surgery, and medical treatment to over 200,000 people. They also said that they manufactured a shoe company operation in Haiti, and they're staffed by the locals. With their help of their partner Bain Capital LLC, a private equity firm, they helped Tom's reach a company value of $625 million. There has been a lot of criticism about the company saying the worst charity in the world kind of thing. But even though they've been getting all this criticism, they took it to heart and they said, you know, we'll work harder to make a better elevator quality. They also have some impacted on some other businesses to do the same thing. A good example would be Meal Share, it's a Canadian nonprofit restaurant which allows the customers to give one meal for free on the purchase they make. You can say that they're influencers towards businesses and consumers to help everybody that needs help.
In conclusion, ethical video of businesses that values moral philosophy dealing with the concepts of right and wrong conduct when pertaining to the target customer. Unfortunately, in today's society, most people look for the negative rather than striving for the positive, and ultimately asking how they can help others around them. Due to the limitations of law and ethics have in decision can easily become rationalized if the idea is reasonably close to one's own and restrictions. This framework of law and ethics can potentially influence the market behavior of the business entity. Lastly, we have a quote. In law, a man is guilty when he violates the rights of others, and thinks he is guilty if he only thinks of doing so.
All right, very good. I like that you did a compare and contrast. That's a nice technique. Number 8. You got everybody's name on there? Okay.
Hi, I'm Mason.
I'm Kate. I'm Julia.
I'm Jared.
Our group is Critical Exposure. Today, we are going to be exposing a major problem for the future of marketing. This problem is effectively marketing to the rising multicultural audiences in America. On our second slide, you will see the groups of words, growing diversity and rapid innovation. Rapid innovations such as computer, the internet, and social media has given consumers a very prevalent voice in today's society, and this voice does not discriminate. However, sometimes marketing itself does. America's population is quickly becoming more and more diverse. Minority groups are growing at a drastic speed. This effectively means these groups of minorities are gaining more and more buying power and present the problem of inefficient marketing to a large group of consumers. Jay is going to outline these problems a little more specifically.
Okay. The three main problems businesses are having with connecting with these multicultural consumers. First of all is cultural differences. Traditionally, marketers only have to target Caucasian families living in a nuclear-style family arrangement, one woman, one man, two children typically. Marketing has to adjust to the new cultural families that live different lifestyles. Second, language barriers. Creating a product ad that is solely in English means missing out on a portion of consumer base that don't speak that language. Another problem that arose was translation issues. There's a great example in the book about a car company that tried to market their product in Spanish, but what ended up happening was the word that they used for driver directly translated to chauffeur, and it led to some major issues and embarrassment and apologies. Finally, stereotyping. The people creating these ads were a lot less diverse than the people they were trying to market to. This led to over-reliance on stereotyping to create ads. Examples include using a Hispanic woman dressed as a maid to sell certain products, or depicting black families living in poor or rural environments. These main problems were huge barriers to companies with trying to market to multiple consumers. So in marketing 2003, which we're talk about.
The solution to cultural marketing and cultural differences is to engage in cross-cultural or mosaic marketing. Advertisements are targeted across each demographic without much differentiation. Overly, culture seeks to send out one message to as many different groups as possible, though they still manage sections that deal solely with Spanish speakers. As far as the language barrier, try to reach target markets in their primary language. Businesses that advertise Hispanic projects should advertise in Spanish. Word choice is important, as well as where the ad is placed. Services advertised in Spanish are most effective. They are on networks that broadcast in Spanish. If it's aired elsewhere, the message probably doesn't reach the intended audience. The solution to deal with the problem of stereotypes is simply try to avoid them and seek to turn off potential customers. Businesses need to consider target audiences as people who are reflecting of outdated and insulting characteristics. Asian connotations involving shop states, Eastern music, and bamboo gas, for example, can be considered offensive and unfair.
So in conclusion, we can say that America has always been seen as a melting pot, but now it could be better described as a mosaic of cultures and people that have come together to represent their country here. Also, the businesses need to speak to them as a whole and not to speak to them as different segments. Finally, many incorrect ways exist to speak to these populations and are still used by some firms. Then businesses need to use environment scanning and cross-cultural marketing to prosper in the future and reach these promising people. Thank you.
Number 9. Very good job, guys. Everybody's name on there?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Good afternoon. My name is Denton Sherman, and we are the Money Team. Today we're going to be talking to you about marketing ethics, or the lack thereof. Marketing ethics, the lack of it, is not a new topic. It's been around for years, but anymore, it comes about a lot quicker. With technology innovating so quickly, all we have to do if we hear about a company messing up, pull out our phone, and at the palm of our hand, we know what the company did. So with that being said, if a company messes up or has a marketing lapse, it's going to be at the scrutiny of the general public a lot quicker. So since it's not a new topic, we're going to talk about a few companies, 4 companies actually. Ford Motor Company, Enron, Bell, and Volkswagen, who have all had marketing lapses, just because they thought if they would stray away from the ethical norm, or maybe just break free completely from what marketing ethics should be, they would make a profit. But as you can see with all 4 of these, it doesn't turn out good for them. So I'll turn it over to Ashton to speak about Ford Motor Company.
Okay, has anybody ever heard of the Ford Pinto case? Anybody? So a few people. Okay, so if you haven't heard about this, you'll kind of find this a little bit disturbing. I did. Basically, in 1968, Ford decided to come out with a new vehicle. It's going to be a little bit different than the previous vehicles. It was about 2,000 pounds. It was going to cost $2,000 per car to make. And one thing that was really different about it is they were going to relocate the gas tank from over the axle to the rear of the vehicle. So the company was Ford was really eager to get the car out. They wanted to cut the time for designing, developing it, and showroom time. So they cut it down from about 3.5 years to 2 years. During that time, they started doing crash tests, and they wanted to see how the car would do being hit from the rear with the gas tank in the rear of the car. They started the first test they did. They had a car hit the rear of the car going 30 miles per hour, and it was a fail, obviously. Ruptured gas tanks, gas leaks, fires. It was really, really bad. So they decided to do a second test, 20 miles per hour being hit at the rear of the car, and the same exact thing happened. So basically, they knew that this car was dangerous, unsafe, and a fire hazard to the public. So they had 2 decisions at that point. They were either going to, 1, bring in all the cars, change them up, and market them back, which would go into their time that they're wanting to cut away, and then also more money involved. And then the other one is they can market it, put it out to the public, and just live with it, make the money. So they did a cost-benefit analysis of the both sides, and basically, if they wanted to bring the cars back in and get them fixed up, it was going to cost $11 per car. Now that doesn't sound like a lot now, but back then that was a lot more money. And so total, their estimate, they totaled out to be about $130 million that they would have to spend if they wanted to change these cars back. So the other way around, if they're going to market it, put it out there for people to buy, they would have to deal with fatalities, obviously, injuries, car-related injuries, fire injuries, everything like that. And they estimated that they would probably spend about $49.5 million not to change. And they'd have to deal with all these lawsuits for every year. One thing, the cost-benefit analysis, they determined is every year there was going to be about 180 deaths and 180 injuries from this car. So by looking at the numbers, you can tell what they did. Weighed it out, 130 million, 49.5 million. They decided to put the car out there. In 1978, I believe, the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration made Ford take back all the cars and change them. Obviously, there was a lot of deaths. Ford puts it at 23 over that span from about 72 to 78, I believe. And then the critics of it say there was actually more around 500. We're not for sure, but honestly, I'd probably go with the critics. And then one of the engineers during one of the lawsuits later stated that 95% of these fatalities could have been prevented if they would have just changed the car in the beginning. So obviously that was a huge ethical dilemma and wrong on their part. So next I'm going to turn it over to Connor, and he's going to talk to you about Enron.
So, most of you guys have probably heard about the Enron Scandal. It's probably the most notorious scandal in American history today. There was a misrepresentation of the earnings report, not just by a couple $100, it was by a couple $100 million, which is very terrible, and it shows just that how terrible they were at showing their earnings reports, and showing how much high executives were just wanting the bigger bonuses, bigger payouts, that way they could get whatever they wanted, which is exactly what they did. And whenever they were made aware of it, all the high executives all of a sudden started selling all their stocks and getting rid of all the shares so that way they wouldn't lose anything. Now, people that were affected by it were all the low-level employees who actually were not able to sell any of their shares because of the 401k restrictions they had with the company, which then ended up making them lose all of their life savings and all of their money that they had earned over the years of working for Enron. Now, just to get into in August of 2000, their money per share was $90.75. In January of 2002, it went all the way down to 67 cents per share. So, I mean, just the local board but also Enron was also once ranked 6th highest in the world or in America for an energy company. But in December 2nd, 2001, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and then the loss sustained by investors exceeded over $70 billion. Just because of a couple mistakes, or really just a bunch of mistakes that Enron made a lot of people lose a lot of money and end up having people have to work harder for the rest of their life to try to gain that money back, because since Enron just didn't want to change the mistakes as it went on, they just decided we'll just go ahead and let it out and let all the high executives get just the higher bonuses and everything like that. But that's it for the Enron for you, and I'm going to take over to Katie right now.
So most of you have probably heard of Bluebell ice cream, which came back to Oklahoma yesterday. It was taken off the market after a recall in March of this year for having a listeria outbreak. And what most people didn't know is that the outbreak was actually discovered in New Jersey in March of 2013. So all this time they've been selling Bluebell like it was no big deal, but they actually had listeria. What the company had to do was buy back all the ice cream that was in grocery stores, and people were allowed to bring back even like half-eaten cartons to a grocery store and get their money back, and Bluebell would have to pay that. So they continued to sell their product even though it was not ethical. And now Stephanie is going to talk about Volkswagen.
Volkswagen is being accused of cheating on emissions tests. The Environmental Protection Agency found out that many Volkswagen cars were being sold in the United States have devices called defeat devices. These devices run their diesel engines, and they could detect when they were being tested, and then they would change the performance and improve the results of the car. The defeat device is said to be computer software that can sense test scenarios by monitoring speed, engine operation, and air pressure. That when the cars were put under controlled conditions, the device put the car into a safe mode. With the EPA's findings of 482,000 cars in the United States, with the device, Volkswagen admitted that 11 million cars worldwide were fitted with the defeat device. And yesterday, the EPA came forward and announced that Volkswagen has lied again on EPA testing.
Alright, so this is just a few examples of companies practicing poor ethics. Some companies do practice good ethics, but others do not. Thank you.
As number 10 is getting ready, just for those of you who don't know, most of you probably have Listeriosis in your refrigerators. It's found in soil, and most strains of it are not dangerous, but the one that is, Listeriosis monocytogen, is extraordinarily dangerous, and it's found in ready-to-eat lunch meat particularly as well, which is not actually ready to eat. You should at least nuke your deli lunch meats for 30 seconds in a microwave to kill the bacteria.
So what does it do for listeriosis?
It's a horrible, painful slowdown. And I think it affects the brain.
So there's no cure?
It depends on when they catch it. If you're immune compromised, if you're very old or very young, it has a much worse effect. You can survive it if you have a healthy immune system.
Hello everyone, we are 6 today and my name is Fatua Celia. And today we want to talk to you about the aspect of sport marketing. So for decades, marketers understand the popularity of sports, and they have made them the centerpiece of marketing campaigns for decades. So I would like Cindy
Raise your hand if you guys know who Listeriosis is. I appreciate those of you who are actually paying attention. One of the most prosperous marketing sectors is sports marketing. Sports offers so many different outlets for marketers. Marketers can look at a team as a whole or even as an individual. For example, Sonic promotes one drink, calls it Kevin Durant's signature slush. There are so many different options for marketers for they can endorse a product or even a sports brand. The options are endless. In combination to many ways for a company to market their products, the incorporation of sports in their marketing plans can be really popular.
Now, I would like you to know what is the definition of sport marketing. Sport marketing is a subdivision of marketing, which focuses both on the promotion of sports, events, and teams, as well as the promotion of other products and services through sporting events and sport teams. It's also a service in which the element promoted can be a physical product or a brand name. Now I will let Rita talk about why marketing campaigns like this highly
Sports marketing is a really huge part of the marketing sector. The Super Bowl is one of the biggest portions of the sports marketing, especially for like campaigns and such with different companies. There's an estimated 111 million viewers who tune into the Super Bowl every year. So it's a large opportunity for different organizations and different products to reach out to very large numbers of different audiences, people who don't normally watch the same shows or watch the same commercials. Because it can reach so many different people, there is like large portions of marketing budgets that are devoted to creating the commercials and testing them and making sure that they will prosper among a large audience. There is about $3.5 million it's estimated that each time slot takes up of the sports marketing budget in each of the corporations. So it does give all companies like a large audience, but it takes up a whole lot of their budget. So there's a lot that can be done through sports marketing.
Okay, I'm going to talk about sports marketing through like sportswear and gear and apparel. And what an athlete's wearing sometimes can be just as important as how they perform in a football game or a basketball game. Just because we're naturally drawn to what they're wearing, and what that brands use to their advantage because they market their product through live television on with like major sporting events like basketball and football. And when they have their product out there on live TV, people can see that. So then the next time they go to the store, they're going to want to buy that something. With this is a bad marketing for sportswear because this is an elite marathoner who's sponsored by Nike, and he had to run over half of his marathon with his insoles of his shoes coming out. So brands such as Nike, they don't want people to see that because it makes the product is really cheap. And then with that, this particular marathoner, he won the race, but he was looking to beat the world record, but he fell short by 63 seconds. So it's hard to say whether the shoes actually made him not beat the record, but just regardless, it makes Nike look really bad.
Okay, so although the Super Bowl is widely used in sports marketing, they noticed that television advertisements aren't as effective as they once were. Creative artists, Wayne Morris and Better, realized that the recent decline in cable network subscribers has went down, and it ultimately affects marketing in the future. And creative artists realize that the bigger money lies in representing an artist's product endorsements. Wayne Morris and Better, a creative artist, decided to fully dedicate themselves to sports marketing, and they're now the nation's two largest talent agencies. Creative artists decided to market individual
used in marketing to explain the customer bias towards certain products based off of pleasant experiences with other products of the same brand. Some corporate names become powerful marketing tools in their own right, which can lead to halo effect to marketing other products. For example, the Nike company developed a strong reputation for making basketball sneakers and tennis shoes. Nike used the successful image it had in developing sports shoes to expand out into other sporting equipment, such as golf balls and golf clubs. If the corporate brand name is strong, then any product released by that company will become instantly recognizable to consumers.
So in conclusion, is seeing that sports is basically a channel for businesses to market in, and due to the halo effect that we said, it's very important for every business to be in the venues at the Super Bowl or other time slots, or in the venue, and even at the collegiate level, the high school level, sports is an everyday influence in everyone's lives. Even if you're not a fan, you see your friends wearing the logo on their hat or their shirt, so you gotta become familiar with it, which is in the halo effect. So, sports is very channel businesses to market. Again, we're 6G2B. Hope you enjoy the presentation.
All right. On Thursday, we have 5 more groups to go, so we'll look forward to that. Be sure and sign the roll sheet if you were here today. For those people that decided to play hooky because they were part of the first group or the last group, there may be penalties. So be sure and sign that. It should be going around. Where is it at this point? Has it made it all the way through? All right, so it's up here. And I will see you all on Thursday. I have, the first one should be up on YouTube from last week. And I should have this up by Thursday, hopefully.